everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Analytical Fanboys. I am your host, the Modular King of the Content Ring, the Vacuuminator, and I am joined, as always, by the Millennial Boomer, Snowcone83.
That's me.
Yeah, I'm joking about off-topic, off mic shit right there, and I'm already flubbing up, but that's okay because he's not alone. I've also got the borrowed Boingo Rider here.
Does that mean I'm old and new and blue as well?
I mean, it could. I have to check. Do I have those written in the adjectives list as well?
I gotta say, of all the words you've used to sling in front of his name that I've only realized you were doing 2 weeks ago, borrowed is definitely my favorite.
Nice. Oh, I've got some good ones coming up. I'm scrolling through the list now. Ooh, I like that one. I like that one a lot. We'll get to that one probably after the summit, actually. But don't worry, that's not important because hey guys, before we jump into the main topic, we want to remind you that this podcast is brought to you by Modular Media, the YouTube worker co-op that the three of us make up. And if you want to support us and all of our endeavors, please go ahead, give us a like, a subscribe, ring the bell to enable notifications so that you get every episode of this podcast as it comes out, and be sure to check out all of our content because there's not just this podcast, but we do tons of other podcasts on here. Last week on Analytical Fanboys, we covered the Iron Giant. Also, this month from Modular, we did a spoiler cast on Kamen Rider 01 that featured Database Ranger and Victory Buster, two friends of the co-op that we've wanted to have on more often for quite a while. So it was great to get to have them on and catch up on things. Chris and I just last week did a new episode of MMWP, the first episode in quite a while, on All Out, the AEW pay-per-view that just happened a little bit ago, and the Dynamite that followed it. And we've also got some content on our personal channels coming out. I just did a review of the Kamen Rider 01 DX Shot Riser, and Chris did a video on the theme to the English dub of the One Piece anime. And, I could be an egotistical dickhead and say my video is better, but I'm honestly going to say it because, you know what? When it comes to YouTube, when it comes to Modular Media, I believe that Chris is the best vid machine. He made the better video so far this month. I loved that video, and I think everybody needs to go check it out.
So far this month, because I also have one already in the pipeline.
And I do as well, but it's yet to be seen if I'll be able to get it up before the end of the month.
Hey, that's what my wife says.
Oh,
Jesus Christ, man.
that's a boomer-ass joke, you boomer.
You millennial boomer. But that is everything going on with Modular this month. But guys, don't forget, we've got the Modular Media Summit that's coming up. It's going to be November 14th through the 23rd. The three of us, all three of us, in the same place, in real life, making content together for the first time ever. Oh, it's going to be epic and huge and wonderful. I'm so excited about it. And we're actually ready to reveal the first thing that's going to be coming out of this. The first official reveal, aside from the summit itself, is
Do you think they're ready for it?
I mean, I hope they are. I hope after 90-something episodes of this show, I hope they're ready and excited to hear what's going to be happening at the Modular Media Summit. Because, guys, we are going to be doing daily live streams. Every night there's going to be a live stream from us on this very channel from the summit, and the first two live streams from the summit that we want to announce, these will be taking place on the first and last days, so the 14th and the 22nd. Those nights you will be seeing an opening and a closing ceremony that all three of us will be at. It's not going to be anything super structured out or like we're going to have a huge game plan for it. But it'll be the three of us hanging out and chatting in person. We will probably discuss plans for the summit and just general what kind of shenanigans we want to get up to at the opening ceremonies. And we'll probably discuss how well all that went at the closing ceremony. There's going to be Q&A at both of them if we have enough people in the chat. There's going to be some surprises, maybe a reveal or two about the future of modular media and stuff we haven't talked about for the summit yet up until that point. So guys, those are going to be really fun streams. They'll probably go like an hour and a half, maybe a little bit more if we've got enough of an audience. But they'll be just great. The first one's going to be a great icebreaker, and that last one is going to be a nice way to wind down, just having a good old chat with the boys. And you know you're going to want to be there live for them. So be sure to mark your calendars for the whole Modular Media Summit, and then specifically for the opening and closing ceremonies, so that you can be there to interact with us live.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's all there is for upkeeping and announcements on this episode of Analytical Fanboys. So we're going to go ahead and move into the main topic of this week's episode, which is a suggestion that Chris put on the list. And honestly, I'm going to say this is probably not the most Boingo core, but the weirdest thing you've ever had me look at on this show, Chris. We are talking about the manga series Ultimo, specifically the first volume, which I believe is like 8 chapters or so.
It's 4 chapters.
Mm.
First volume is 4 chapters, and there's a prologue pilot kind of thing that has some information you can use, but it's not necessary for the entirety of the story, because it is Karakuri Doji Ultimo. That's the full Japanese name. Translated, it's Robot Boy Ultimo. This is a manga project co-created by Stan Lee. Yes, American comic book creator Stan Lee. And let me make sure I get the mangaka's
of American comics, Stan Lee.
Hiroyuki Takai. He's the other person who worked with him on it. The basic premise is best way to explain it. Ambivalent anime buff Stan Lee created a couple robots to fully embody the ideals of good and evil and unleash them into the world to see what the fuck happens.
It's basically, what if Stan Lee was DJ Sagara from Kamen Rider Gaim?
That, but also like a little bit of Astro Boy.
Just a tiny bit, in that like the robots are really effeminate kind of gay boys.
Yeah, did you know that Stan Lee basically made yaoi bait?
That's 100% what, man, that was like the most uncomfortable part of the whole fucking thing.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, until they said he was a boy, I dead ass thought Ultimo was a girl.
Oh yeah, no.
And that's not even like that wouldn't even matter if not for the fact that because I wasn't gonna make the connection until the media itself made the joke, and I was just like, well, because they were like, because it looks like a little boy, and then the person's like, I don't think you should be doing illegal stuff. Like, it looked like a little boy you were on top of, and I was just like,
yeah.
Yeah. But also remember, this was created by Stan fucking Lee.
I know, man. I've seen Stripperella, and I just don't see how. Except I do.
I mean, Stan Lee was kind of an old pervert, but this is definitely way beyond anything I've ever heard about him in that regard.
Yeah. But you describe the basic overall premise of the story. It's like, oh, robots fighting over time. They team up with human partners, and it's like, oh, okay, whatever. And then you see the designs and all the aspects of it, and you go like, oh. So yeah, that's partially why I wanted to fucking talk about it, because it is one of these side projects that Stan Lee made in the 2000s, and it's it just feels so fucking weird.
Isn't this around the same time that those Just Imagine Stan Lee creating DC characters books happened?
This manga was the first chapter 0, the prologue, was published April 18th, 2008. The manga was officially serialized March 2009.
Let me see. When did Just Imagine Stan Lee creating the DC universe happen? 2001.
Yeah, so a little bit after.
Okay.
But like Stan Lee wasn't the only major creative force behind this, because the person who illustrated it was Hiroyuki Takei, which you might not recognize that name immediately. He's the guy who created Shaman King.
Yeah, I could tell just from a couple of the scenes in this.
And I mean, I've only seen a little bit of Shaman King, but it does have a very indicative style, and that's very prevalent in this. Which, by the way, I was looking at a panel here, and I completely forgot to mention, we're talking about how Stan Lee exists within this comic. Stan Lee as a god is literally a character in this comic. The character looks exactly like him. He's this ambivalent god character who can like appear and disappear and do weird supernatural shit at will. And his fucking name is Dunstan.
Yeah. His full name is actually Roger Dunstan. Oh god. Here's the thing. You're not ready for this because I'm reading the Wikipedia page.
Okay.
He's actually from the year 2989.
What the fuck, dude?
He's from the future. I forgot because I've read further. I've previously read this manga before. It eventually gets to the point where there's time travel.
There's already time travel.
Well, no. It's taking place in two different time periods. That's different.
And there's like reincarnation and that kind of shit.
Well, reincarnation.
Is it even?
Yes.
No, because like there's all the stuff taking place in feudal Japan, and then there's the modern Japan stuff, which really just feels like Bleach.
I can get that. I get that vibe. But like, so there's Ultimo and there's Evil One. I can't remember the Evil One's name. Vice. Vice is the evil.
Of course, Vice is his fucking name.
Here's the other thing. They also get like their own like crew to help them. So there's an evil crew, and they're all the 7 deadly sins. And then there's like a crew of like 7 holy virtues.
Of course.
And I'm pretty sure, because when I sent you the link to this, Cody, you made mention of OG's that cover. I think he's one of the bad guys, the fat pink dude.
Oh, is he? I couldn't tell.
But yeah, this is something that feels very distinctly really fucking anime and manga, but also I can't imagine a mainstream manga, because this was in a major publication. This was in Jump Q, I think.
Yeah. I was looking at a minute ago the picture of Jump It first, the first Jump It was in.
And Jump is the manga line done by Shueisha, who also does Weekly Shonen Jump, where One Piece and Dragon Ball and all that kind of stuff was in.
Look at that old ass picture of Stan, even at the time they used on that cover.
Yeah, it's so interesting because at this time, around this time as well, Stan Lee also had a fucking anime. He did Hero Man.
Really?
Yeah. Stan Lee created Hero Man, and he was in Hero Man as well.
Oh my god. Stan Lee is amazing to me because, like, on one hand, he's like such a fucking bastard because he puts himself in on he's like the Hulk Hogan of comics, okay? He has screwed over so many people and put himself over so many times at the sake of like both elevating comics and trying to get away from comics. but also you can't help him but love him because he's this iconic fixture of comics, and all of comics since him is kind of built around what he did.
Yeah, but again, this is a piece of Stan Lee that lasted a while. It was from 2009 to, I think it said 2016 on the Wikipedia page.
How active do you think he was in actually writing this? Do you think he just came up with like the concept and then he handed it off to this artist? Or do you think like he was having weekly? Do you think Stan Lee made a fucking manga script like your boy from Bakuman?
I have a feeling he came up with large concepts and the basic arcs, and then someone had to translate it for the artist, and then he got to work.
I read all of this as if it was penned by his hand.
Oh, jeez.
I mean,
were you reading it in a Stan Lee voice?
No, I was just like, every time I'd feel weird, I would just be like, he had a hand in this. And then keep reading.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at on TV tropes at some of the characters. There is, like, looking at some of the other goddamn robot people that help out. Like, there's that one.
It's
They all look like little babies.
Oh yeah, no, they're tiny. They're tiny people.
I got weirded out at the beginning because, like, the main character you see is, like, talking to like, this child runs up to him, and I'm like, oh, they're the same age. I'm like, oh, they're both children. And then there's, like, talking about this other person, like, that he was gonna date. Hey, look, Krillin.
the little bald boy that Chris just posted in the chat.
He's one of the good ones.
Maybe that's what I need right now, is some, like, clear plastic eyebrows.
That's a fashion statement.
Because it's working, I gotta say. I have, like, clear plastic glasses, but, you know, logical next step.
Yeah. Since I have a feeling neither of you, like, genuinely was thinking, like, oh, this was a really good story. It's weird.
No, this just kind of washed over me as like, what? Why was this on the list other than Stan Lee?
If this was an anime, I would have done the same thing to it as I did with actual Seven Deadly Sins. And, like, I watched it with an ex, and it was enjoyable with another person there. And then I came back to it and started watching it again, and I was immediately like, "Oh, I don't like any of the dialogue. I don't like this." And that's kind of because, like, there's a lot of fuck, you know, in this. There's a lot of, like, fuck you, fucker.
This is
fucking
okay.
fuck.
We clearly read a fan translation. Am I right?
Yeah, it is.
Like,
It's a fan translation.
This was translated by like a 14-year-old in 2003.
No way. So this wasn't actually the fuck.
No.
You're telling me that that's not 100% what that said?
I don't think Stan Lee is the type of guy to put so many F-bombs in his work. Sorry to break it to you, Cody.
Especially because I'm pretty sure the official translations are done by Viz, and they're very hesitant. Oh god, I'm fucking clicking through goddamn pages of the fucking manga.
Interesting.
Remember that?
So I read a fan translation. Yeah.
I do.
Stan Lee loves Japan. God damn.
I mean, he did try and make Power Rangers happen before Power Rangers. You gotta give that to him.
Yeah, but so ultimately the story is basically evil Stan Lee says, all right, I want to see who wins in a philosophical battle of good and evil, so I'm just going to make robots to fight. He does that, and eventually the fighting happens, but also, like, there's weird machinations, like, okay, remember the little blonde best friend in, like, the second chapter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's actually, if I remember right, the reincarnation of the love interest of the dude from the feudal era, and he remembers all of her memories, and he goes crazy trying to get the main character back.
Wow.
If I'm remembering right. Like, he teams up with the evil robot boy.
Interesting. Not I want to read it interesting, but interesting nonetheless.
No. He teams up with Jealousy.
Of course.
Oh, Jealousy. Nice.
Yeah, he was a princess who married Yamato. So there's some. So again, they're playing into all the yaoi bait fully.
It's weird how this is like, it's so unlike the kind of hallmarks, Stan Lee from like big 60s Marvel stuff. It's very, like, it's got that kind of melodrama to it, but it's not built around traditional America at all.
No, this is because this dives into a lot of genuine Japanese things, because it's not like this. It's the 7 deadly sins, but it's the 6. It's like a Buddhist idea. It's like charity and meditation on the good guy side.
Oh,
That kind of thing.
interesting.
It's definitely something like some of the art is neat, but then sometimes it's not. I like the design for the well, definitely robots.
Do you guys know my favorite panel?
That's one of the evil humans that teams up with the evil robots.
She looks like a Madoka Magica character.
She does.
That's some anime shit right there. Yeah, that was a pretty good panel, I gotta say.
It's a fucking phone background, dude. There's just this guy sitting in sadness while there's like all these different buff Stan Lee expressions in the background, and the only fucking bit of dialogue is just ... done Stan.
It's this is absurd that it wouldn't happen, that Stan Lee would decide to team up with a manga artist to make what is a very Japanese fucking manga.
Yeah.
But then also give a bunch of fucking yaoi bait. Like, it's not necessarily that I don't get either one of those two things happening. It's the fact that both of them happened at once.
I mean, I know very little about Hiroyuki Takei, you said his name was?
Yeah.
I know very little about him, but a part of me wants to think that he is just a huge old school Marvel fan, and somehow or other he got in contact with Stan Lee or someone at Marvel or something or other, and he said, "Yo, I wanna collab with Stan Lee. I want to do a comic with Stan Lee in it. I want to do one of our comics with Stan Lee in it." And they're like, and Stan Lee was like, "Okay, give me this much money and you can put my name on it and I'll be in it."
Okay. In the first like 2 chapters, remember how the main male character and his friend were going on about like, oh, the girl you have a crush on, that person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's actually the daughter of Dunstan.
Okay. All right, yeah. Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah. I'm just going through the TV tropes. Remember the first robot person I sent, the one with the crop top?
Yeah.
Yes.
So apparently, later on at the end of the story, they all turn human because, hey, we saved the day, and they all get to be regular people living with us and have a happy life. They actually are the only robot person who turns into a girl.
Oh,
Yeah, like they play into it the whole time. It's like, oh, is this one a boy or a girl? And it's like it doesn't even seem. I'm looking at TV trips. It doesn't even seem like it was like their choice or anything. It was just like that's how fate happened.
Not trans.
that's kind of a little squeaky.
That's even worse. That's
Also, they are supposed to be the embodiment of charity.
I don't like this.
Oh no, I completely understand you not liking it. I can kind of dig it just because
Now, when you say you could kind of dig it,
for the
I know
action.
you mean the actual thing.
I
But
don't know if I like it or not, but I think
The
this is
story as a whole.
fascinating-
Story as a whole.
it's just.
Yeah. Go
you
ahead,
know,
Cody.
No, I don't have thoughts.
I mean, like, I can't even really get into specific story details because there's just like, there's
Barely any in the first volume.
yeah, it's such a simple setup with like all the most typical weird shonen yaoi bait stuff from that time period that I can think of. And honestly, I don't like or dislike this. I'm pretty ambivalent towards it, but I think it's just fascinating that it happens and that somehow or other all these amazing illustrations of a buff Stanley exist and yet have not been made into memes yet. What the fuck? I thought this is what the internet was made for. I just had to get that out of the way.
The internet's for porn,
Yeah.
which may or may not have to do with what we talked about today, to be determined.
Oh dear.
Like, if this was even a little bit more popular, you know damn well there'd be fucking a shit ton of yaoi for it. But it,
Oh,
I,
yeah.
like, look at that fucking official promo image.
That doesn't look remotely male to me.
It also doesn't
Well-
help that the character is wearing a kind of old fashioned, like, it's a weird piece of Japanese clothing. I've seen it in other places, but it's basically just a square piece of cloth covering the chest.
Yeah, that's the thing that like because I said I thought Ultimo was a girl at first. That's why I saw that and I'm like, oh, it's covering up the titties, and then there's the other one there. It's got an open chest, clearly a male. But then 2 seconds later, they're like, that one's a male too, and I'm like, all right, I don't know shit about fuck. That's cool.
Oh shit.
Gender is a meaningless societal construct, people.
Very much so. After I get this photo and show you.
Oh boy. I probably don't want to see it.
Probably not.
I want to see it now.
I'm trying to figure out how to get it because it's not working on this one. But yeah. So this was Ultimo.
Yeah. That was a thing. We did just talk about that for long enough that I guess we can call it the main topic of the podcast.
It's like, what else can I just say? Like, it's weird. It's ultimately
weird,
what it is.
It's a weird out there oddity. And it's very different than the kind of stuff we normally discuss on the show. And I think that's part of why we're floundering so much. But I'm glad we did get to it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's for sure interesting. I mean, it's less dated. I mean, some of the things are dated, but it is newer than I thought, but still old enough for me to try to slap that on there. So I don't know.
It's on the cusp of being vintage.
And so am I.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, you want to find out what we're talking about next time, guys?
Oh yeah, my favorite part.
Yeah, all right. I am fucking gonna spin that wheel, boy.
Yeah, but to add to the general weirdness of it, that's a panel from later on where they dress Ultimo as a girl.
Fucking Christ.
Oh, it's a full grown man. That's a full the main character is a full grown man. He's older than his mom. He looks older than his mom.
Yeah, because the person in the middle is his mother.
I know.
That's right.
Also, it looks
like
to
a
be like
weird
his
character
naked
too.
ass, like in the left corner of the. I don't know, man. That's some weird.
Oh
shit.
yeah, looking back at the previous page, he was coming out of the shower.
Oh, I'm sure he was coming all right, out of the shower all right.
Well, Chris, yeah, you hit us with this, and now next time you're gonna hit us with some Bleach from Nirvana.
Oh hell yeah!
I know nothing about Nirvana except Kurt Cobain's suicide and the two big songs they had. So this will be a cultural growth experience for me, probably.
They definitely had more than two big songs.
So we're listening to an album.
Yes. Hey, this will be the first time you do an album review with us, Cody, because all the other ones were back when it was just me and Chris, and we haven't done one in a good bit. So this should be interesting.
Well, I'm excited. I'll probably get through it the first time. Since it's an album and I already like Nirvana, I'll probably just listen to it all week. So
Nice.
I'll have some very. It's one of my favorite things to do personally. Is like I like to go back to artists and like listen to an album as what I assume is it's meant to be listened to from start to finish. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and a lot of people when they talk about Nirvana immediately kind of go to their second major album.
That's Nevermind, right?
Yep, Nevermind, which is 1991, because that has Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah, that's the big song I know that everybody knows.
And In Bloom and Lithium and all that kind of stuff. But Bleach is when they were still pretty much they hadn't kind of made a new sound that people kind of go like, oh, that's a new genre-esque thing. And it is still very much punk. Because that's the thing you got to realize with a lot of like Nirvana sounding grunge, it's mostly punk. And we'll talk more about that next week.
Yeah, I was about to say, it sounds like next week will probably be a much more thrilling discussion. But you know what? That's fine, because this week, Chris, we got to talk about what the hell happened on Dynamite.
A lot of things happened on Dynamite. Sorry, Cody.
This is a fucking banger episode. They're just pumping them out right now because, like, first and foremost, I got to talk about how fucking Kip Sabian went from being like the biggest dipshit heel to being one of my favorite baby faces, because him and Miro just have the best bromance.
Oh yeah, it basically is two fucking Twitch bros going like, yeah, no, bro, your Twitch stream's the best. Nah, man, your muscles though.
And meanwhile, Penelope Ford is just in the background, like, guys, can you get back to lifting the weights, please? You need to get buffer. You're wrestlers.
And I just love Kip Sabian in full-on crop top now. That's just a good look on him.
It is. I never thought I'd say that about another man, but yes, it's perfect for him. And then fucking potentially teasing another match between Sheeta and Rosa. Well, Rosa just had a bomber-ass match against Evilise, which was actually putting the NWA title on the line. I was not expecting them to ever do that in AEW.
Well, it was nice. The only thing, there was rumors that they kind of got into a shoot in the middle of it, which seemed to be unfounded now. Maybe they just went pretty stiff. But there is one GIF that's been shared around of Evilise really looking completely bored and no selling anything in the middle of a match while Rosa's trying to do a fucking hold.
Hmm.
And that just looked a little sloppy. But
I might have been looking away during that bit then.
Yeah. I didn't notice it until I saw the GIFs floating around.
Fucking MJF is teasing potentially starting a group.
That seems like it's gonna be fun.
You think we're going Horsemen? You think that's finally gonna happen, or
they may try and do Dynasty again because that was his faction in MLW.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. FTR going up against Jurassic Express.
Yeah, that was pretty solid. Probably my favorite out of the matches FTR has had in AEW so far.
It was really good, especially because like nobody was playing into their like they were going up against someone who was very, very fast, and Page and Omega were very much playing into the slower style of FTR to build up dread and tension.
Fucking we gotta get to it. 6-man tag, Moxley, Hobbs, and Allen versus Starks, Archer, and Cage. That's coming next week. That's gonna be a real match next week. I'm
just so happy about Hobbs because like dude everybody just immediately like fell in love with the dude and was like, yeah, no, we like him. Yeah. Bring him on. And they were like, all right, cool. Here he is in the main event scene.
Yeah, and I said like in our Discord, like I was a little worried that potentially this could turn into like a Cena Roman scenario, but looking at it, I think it is fairly away from that at this point. Because like you said, Hobbs kind of organically got people interested in him in Dark, and now they're just kind of going with the flow. I think they're maybe going with it a little too fast, but we'll see how it works out. I mean, regardless, I'm excited for the match because it's those free dudes fucking wailing on each other. How can you not be excited for that?
But I think it makes sense, especially when you take it as another person they brought onto the main roster of Miro. Miro is starting with pretty much like a lower card storyline, and they know he can pull this up and make it bigger. Will Hobbs hasn't had that experience, and they may be unsure of his capability of doing something like that. So they're giving him a main event spot. They're giving him a main event story so that he has some momentum he can settle down into the mid card.
That's fair. How about that Hangman match with fucking Omega on commentary and just the whole time sounding like he would rather be anywhere else?
That was heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
especially when like Hangman wins and he's going and looking for Kenny, and Kenny's not there.
Yeah, it's almost like Hangman still hasn't accepted that he's back in the singles division. Don't wanna be all by myself.
It's good storytelling in the best kind of way.
I'm excited to see, because I think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna blow it off, but I think we're gonna see the first major match in that feud happen at Full Gear, and I think we're building towards that right now.
It's very possible.
But then we have probably one of the best gimmick matches I've ever seen. The fucking parking lot fight.
Oh. That's the second 5-star match AEW's gotten from Dave Meltzer.
It was insane. And I really admire them because they could have made that cinematic, but they fucking did it live.
They did it all in one take. It wasn't live.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was pre-recorded.
But still, it was just so dope seeing, like, first of all, Santana and Ortiz are in some of the spookiest face paint I've ever seen in wrestling. Um, and they're going in, they're like, yeah, we're gonna fuck these guys up because we're the fucking backyard brawlers. And then Trent and Chuck just utterly destroyed them, smashing them into cars and shit, getting smashed into cars and shit. Like, I just picture the 2 or 3 days before this, Tony Khan just rolls up with all 5 of the guys in this match because spoilers, Orange Cassidy got involved. Um, he just rolls up to like a used car dealership with all 5 of those guys, and he's like, "All right, go pick out. Here's our price range. Go pick out 4 or 5 within that price range."
Because they put a person in on top of the engine and repeatedly slammed the hood on them.
Somebody got slammed into a trunk.
Someone got slammed into the roof of a car. Someone got slammed into the windshield of a car and busted the glass on their back.
Mm-hmm. That was one of the toughest spots I've seen in a while.
It was very good.
Mm-hmm. Fucking just one of just such a great match, and like the icing on the cake of having Sue come back with her minivan all fixed up to pick up the boys, and then she just flips Santana and Ortiz off. Oh,
And this is like just a really good old school story of like these good boys are just good guys and they need to fuck up the bad guys because fuck them.
yeah. And fucking, I love how around this, Sue has gotten over. Like, people have been talking about her as like one of the best side characters in AEW. I literally saw somebody in the AEW Unrivaled subreddit saying they want a Sue figure that comes with the minivan. Um, and fucking all the people who have interacted with her backstage over the course of this feud have just been posting on social media like, yeah, no, Sue's awesome. She's the fucking hairstylist for AEW. She does all this great shit. She brought everybody cookies and brownies the night we shot this match. It was awesome.
She was great. And that's the kind of like person that a group like the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy need as a manager. It's just a gag machine because it's like, oh, look at these sweet boys defending one of their moms.
Mm-hmm. And I really like that they're keeping it limited to its Trent's mom because she works for AEW. If this was WWE, it would be a fucking actress playing Trent's mom, and all 3 of their moms would be involved somehow. Like, we would see Orange Cassidy's mom, and I don't think anybody wants to see a family member of Orange Cassidy show up in kayfabe.
No, Orange Cassidy is an enigma that only exists by himself.
Yeah. But that was AEW this week. This is a fucking baller episode. I enjoyed it a lot. And Cody, are you still on the line?
I am here.
Okay, give us a weekly vibe, dude. Let's go on to weekly vibes.
I picked up a lot of interesting things. It's mainly going to be toys. For the most part, it was a not great week. I have some Mega Constructs, Halo figures, the newest Halo Infinite ones. They're pretty cool. I found the Hot Wheels, like Rad Rigs or something like that. Hot Wheels sometimes does like $5 semi trucks, and then they'll do like $7 semi trucks with a car, and it's a dino themed semi truck that looks like a T-Rex with a rib cage for the trailer and like a Stegosaurus car in the back. And like as soon as I saw that, I was like,
That is metal as fuck.
"Oh, it's
Yeah.
really cool." It's like I love Hot Wheels the best when it's like they're wacky monster type things. So I don't know, like it was really dope. And I also got some Black Series figures. I got the new Rebel Trooper, this Hoth Rebel Trooper, and I got Luke Skywalker, Snowspeeder, Luke or whatever. I really
How's,
love the snow speeder one.
I was about to ask, how is he?
No, the articulation's great. He's got those like universal ball joints at the knees or whatever, and it's weird, but it works very well. Like it seems like I can get much more natural like stance. He's really fun to pose. Um, oh yeah, probably my favorite thing I picked up because I was like dying to get it. I'm like I'm in it to the point to where like I already know I'm gonna be buying the fucking big boy here pretty soon, but I got the Mega Constructs He-Man uh He-Man and Battle Cat versus Rotom or Merman and Rotom uh set,
Oh shit.
and it's fucking phenomenal. All I know plenty, you know, because I like toys. I know the history of most toys, most toy lines. You know, I'm like in all of it. Like I think I like toys more than specific brands at this point. Probably,
And
which
that's
would
why
probably
you're the
make
toy
sense
man of AEW or of modular media.
of AEW. I should be getting paid way more right now. What the fuck?
No, I was gonna say, Cody, you're the toy man of modular media. I'm just a guy who likes toys and is in modular media. Because I only like a few specific brands, whereas you're into literally anything that draws your attention.
Yeah, I can't wait to get everything up because it's literally a museum or a cry for help. It's one of those two things.
It can be both. It can be both.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyways, to go into like further detail, Battle Cat is very posable. Like more than like the He-Man Origins Battle Cat that's made right now. Like more than any Battle Cat I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of it. It looks better than the Masters of the Universe Classics Battle Cat.
Yeah, like one of my favorite things, I think, like I like 6-inch figures. My favorite scale is 3 3/4. Um, and I've mentioned this a couple of times, but for some reason, I always like miniature things. I like things that are smaller, whether it be like probably because like as a kid they were the things I could get more of. They're like the cheaper option. They're cheaper to make. You could just they take up less space, and like all of those things combined means that like you know I could have like an army of clone troopers that 3 3/4 inch scale, or I could have something else I bought this week because I just decided to go full monkey brain and say fuck it, because my Walmart just decided to start. My Walmart has not been stocking Mega Constructs anything, you know, for like 2 years. And then literally a week ago, they're just like, oh, hey, by the way, all of it right now, everything, all of it. Like,
Bring the rain!
it's in like they got so much shit they have it in like several different spots on several different toy aisles. Like they don't even know where to put it. There's some shit on the sale aisle. I got the Predator and Dutch 2-pack, and it's thermal Dutch, so he's translucent with beautiful colors. It's beautiful, fucking
Whoa.
amazing. I love it so much. But they also got like the latest Heroes line, which is all kinds of random shit. This time their Heroes line was Claptrap from Borderlands 3, Kratos, the Predator and Muddy Dutch from, you know, the Predator, and Raphael.
Huh.
And I might have been forgetting someone, but I don't think so. So I decided, I don't know if you've ever played Borderlands, but there's many, like Claptrap is one of many. There's several that look just like him, and several with different color variations. Um, for some reason, people bought a lot of the of this wave because like it comes in a box that you can pick up with one hand. But there's like probably like 6 of each character. I have 5 Claptraps now, so you know why not? Because if I'm gonna army build something, it's gonna be all of everything. But anyways, to go back to the thing that is actually
If I'm gonna buy a lot of everything, it's gonna be everything.
Probably the most impressive thing about the Masters of the Universe Mega Constructs figures is that if you're any bit familiar with the original vehicles and their gimmicks, they find a way to keep the gimmick.
Really?
So, in the construction of the Rotom vehicle, it has 2 wheels on the bottom. Pretty simple. And it's got this disc that kind of doesn't like do anything. It just sits there, but it's sitting around a round piece, so it's pretty much sitting around an axle that's vertical. And so you get 2 different size wheels. You get one little wheel, and they both make contact with the ground at an even plane, flat. But the big wheel makes contact with the disc. So while it might not be like the ratcheting gimmick from the original toy, you still push it forward and it spins, and you move it backwards and it spins the other way. It's the same thing. They did it, and it's good. I love it so much. Also, they're
Nice.
more articulated than the original He-Man figures, because I mean, of course, but
I mean, the original He-Man figures were articulated with rubber bands.
I know it's just interesting. It's interesting, and like while I didn't grow up with it, it's definitely becoming like one of my favorite things to get into now, because probably like, and this will just go into like also like a little bit of like what they're gonna do. Like they've done a Castle Grayskull, and I'm gonna try to get it because they also, yeah.
Is it how many? Is it like all block, or is it going to be like a couple?
No, it's
one set piece.
all blocks. It's
That's cool.
massive. It's if it was a Lego set, it would be too expensive for me to consider, but it's not, so it's affordable. But I also buy Lego. It's similar quality. It's not like 1,500 pounds in a fucking hydraulic press quality, but like it's still very good, and their build ideas are very interesting. They just said fuck it, and they're doing every weird character possible in the Masters of the Universe. I think they have like a mosquito or whatever planned. They got like a spider guy, the ninja guy, the old man.
Wonder Red He-Man.
Their names. Not yet. They're doing the green slime pit He-Man dude. They're doing a all black and orange one that I don't understand. They have a lot of deep cuts because Mattel.
Have they done
understands
Disco
He-Man.
Skeletor?
Not yet, but I'm sure they will, because that's the other thing. They've done so many different versions, like the He-Man that comes on the Battle Cat. Battle Armor He-Man with like the little barrel chest gimmick, except it doesn't have the barrel chest gimmick because it's too small. But it's got like the battle armor with the thing on his chest. The other playset, which has a SKU up at my Walmart, and I have to unfortunately check it regularly because apparently the fucking greasy fingers are out there trying to buy this shit and just like deconstructing it, selling the parts, doing whatever. Like if you bought it from online right now, you'd have to pay twice the price or some shit. That kind of bullshit. But it's Point Dread. It's at a $50 price point, and it mimics the original Point Dread playset, which was a part of Castle Grayskull that you could connect to Castle Grayskull, and it came with like the bird thing, the bird plane thing. I don't know what it is. I just recognize it from Toy Soldiers He-Man expansion, which was a real-time strategy game, and that was one of the units. And it was a bitch to fight, but it's cool, and I want it, so why not? And that's it.
Nice. Chris, what have you been vibing on?
Well, I've been vibing on the fact that I have a new computer now.
What?
Oh?
Dude, it fucking happened?
Yeah.
Dude! Oh my god, people have no idea. We've been talking about trying to get Chris a new computer off mic for the entire fucking time I've known him.
I had it since last Saturday.
You motherfucker!
Because I knew it this would be fucking good.
Dude, fucking tell me everything.
Okay, it's a Lenovo IdeaPad Gaming 3.
Nice.
AMD Ryzen 5 4000 series. So it's 6-core, 12-thread. NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 or 50. I can't remember. Let me look real quick. I'm looking at my NVIDIA control panel right now. If it pops up, there it is. 1650 Ti. That's what I have as a graphics card. Yeah, so far so really good. It's been dope.
What's it like editing on that thing? You gotta tell me.
It's much faster.
Yeah!
Because
What
when
about porn?
it's much faster.
Right.
Editing on my old computer, like I would move a clip and then I'd have to wait like a good 2 seconds before my computer would let me play the feed. Here I can just go like, all right, move, play. It's instant. I don't have to wait.
It's that new computer feeling, man. Relish it. You're gonna have it for like 2 years.
Doing all that kind of stuff. But I've also been downloading and doing a little bit of the gaming because I had Steam. I've had it for a while, but I also had a couple games I got for free as gifts. So I have Brutal Legend on my computer.
Nice.
And Guacamelee.
Very fun.
And I also am a shrewd bastard, so I downloaded the Epic Game Store and have been downloading their free games whenever they...
Hey, that's fine. Maybe we should get into playing Among Us.
Do what?
The game Among Us.
Mm.
It's a hardcore meme right now. It's a very simple game, but
Yeah. Oh, that the one with the betrayal and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who, but a friend from my now old job told me that some store had Far Cry free up for free if you made an account on their site within a certain period of time. Were you able to get in on that?
Nope. But I'm looking at the Epic Game Store right now, and I've already downloaded it. I got Watch Dogs 2 for free.
Shit, bro.
Hey, I haven't played that yet.
Yeah, I played like the first 5 minutes to make sure everything was good and working. And I wish I had $45 right now because Epic Game Store has Death Stranding for a $15 discount.
Can your computer run Death Stranding?
Looking at the goddamn tech specs for what it says, like, hey, this is what you need, because it says recommended Intel Core i7 or AMD Ryzen 5 1600. I am running a Ryzen 5 4000. Memory is 8 gigabytes, so that's RAM, and I have 8 gigabytes of RAM. And GeForce GTX 1060, 6 gigabyte, or AMD Radeon RX 50 RX 590. And I have a 1650 Ti, so I think that's the better version. I'd have to look.
That's fucking sick, dude. You're bringing that thing to the summit, right?
Oh yeah, no, that's okay. Cody, remember a couple weeks ago when I said, "Hey, by the way, do you have a couple extra PlayStation controllers or Xbox controllers?" This is why, because I had already ordered it, and I was thinking, "Oh, wait a second, we could probably play like PlayStation 2 games on this and stream it," which we can because, in fact, Thursday I did a test stream on Twitch for 40 minutes.
You motherfucker! Oh my god!
and I got that whole thing up and running, and it worked pretty good.
That's awesome, because fuck, I forgot to talk about this off mic, but yeah, fuck it, we'll do it now. Chris, you told me I should probably order a capture card for Cody's PS whatever. Fucking ordered that shit, as well as a Wi-Fi adapter for my computer, because I thought we were gonna have to move that thing out to the Vac Shack during the summit in order to do this kind of stuff. But now you've got that laptop. Oh my god, I'm still gonna move my computer out there, but now we can do that shit on like a more advanced level.
So wait, you got a capture card for my PS4?
If you want, like, if you want to bring it up. But also, we have my Switch, and we can bring that up and capture video gameplay.
Yeah,
from that.
it works for both.
It's HDMI.
Well, I mean, oh, so it could also work for Xbox One.
Yes.
So
and speaking of Xbox, there's a whole Xbox panel, and I'm running Windows. So I don't know how any of this would work. If I can, like,
you can.
You can't or can?
You can. Exactly how you think it works that way. It's you could pretty much just play Xbox games. Halo and shit like that.
But I mean, like, can I, like, work with your account and do that kind of stuff and play with you?
You should be able to, yes. And also any game that's cross-plat, you can do that. I would recommend Fortnite, but I don't want to see you get your ass beat by 15-year-olds.
But I mean, hey, man. This means technically I can kind of play Xbox with you.
Yeah, I haven't really touched my Xbox in a while either, other than like moving shit on top of it.
All right. Well, I'm
just saying, like, more as a possibility kind of thing.
No, I mean we will now.
But I've been working with a PS2 emulation. It's been working really good. Brutal Legend fucking worked a charm. So yeah.
Man, I was not expecting that to happen on this fucking episode, but I guess we just kind of soft announced there's going to be impromptu gaming streams and Let's Plays at the fucking summit too.
Unless you edit it out.
Yeah. I mean, you could.
I'm too lazy to do that. And I mean, like, these people, anyone who's stuck around this long, because I'll talk about it during the preamble next week, but anybody who's stuck around this long into the podcast, like, they fucking earned that knowledge, in my opinion.
So yeah, new fucking shiny ass computer.
You know, I almost went after Cody because I was like, I don't know if what I have to talk about is all that interesting. And now I'm regretting doing it because how the fuck do I follow that up, dude?
And no, I haven't opened it, but like I got Blender up on my computer. I got streaming, LMMS, all that kind of stuff. Looking at my games folder, I got Doom because I already had Doom. Let's
like
see.
Original Doom or like
OG Doom, like 93 Doom.
If you could run Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal, if you could play that game, if you could play Doom Eternal, then you could play like any shooter just about.
I can probably, but like I got Legends of Dragoon, Crash Bandicoot. Those were working just great.
That is fucking dope, man.
So on that kind of thing, Mario Party can be a possibility of us playing.
I've literally never played a Mario Party, so that could be hilarious and probably extremely frustrating for me.
But yeah, fucking, I got a new computer, and I'm so glad I can finally say that now, because I've had it for like 2 weeks now. And
I can't believe you kept it chambered for that long. That is some self-control, bro.
Because I knew it would make a great podcast moment.
Man.
In fact, my computer hasn't really booted up its fan much at all during this whole time, and I've had HitFilm up and running the entire time.
Now I'm actually jealous. I was happy for you before. Now I'm jealous. because my computer never fucking runs without its fan anymore. And you're in Florida. Jesus Christ.
I guess mine runs without its fan.
The only problem I've hit up against so far is we don't have completely unlimited internet, but I think we're kind of getting that fixed. I don't know about when it would be, but like, so I kind of can't download everything I want or upload. I'm not sure what the parameters of it are.
A small price to pay, really.
Yeah,
that's a pretty nasty price, honestly. That sucks.
Yeah, but we're getting it. I'm pretty sure we're getting it upgraded to unlimited pretty soon. So,
oh, that's
man. Oh, well, good for you, man. That's fucking awesome.
Oh, you know what, Chris? I'm gonna recommend a game that you look into. Viscera Cleanup Detail.
Oh yeah, by Devolver.
Is that Devolver?
Yeah.
Do I just play everything they make, dude? Fuck.
Maybe. You might. I don't know. No, it's the game I was thinking of is you play like a giant flesh blob and you're going around hallways. I don't think that's the same game.
Chiron or whatever.
Karen.
There you go.
Or something like that.
No, you were the right one. You were the chosen one. But yeah, dude, now we could do that. We could probably make a thing out of that. There's plenty of games that are cross-plat. There's plenty of games. Fuck yeah, dude.
And also it was like $10 on Steam this week. And I was like, it's $10 for 4 games. I got the first 4 Monkey Island games.
Of course you did.
Nice.
So yeah, I got Monkey Island. When I do stream, when I get to that point where I can, I'm just gonna be the fucking weird JRPG dude and just play those kind of games. Also, I got it set up on my computer so I can record the raw game footage while streaming and not have my stream on the footage, so I can make videos from that game footage.
Dude, what if this is like the beginning of you becoming the streamer in the group?
Oh, it's very possible, because when I get to that point where I can do it on a regular basis, I want to do it on a regular basis. And
Okay.
So I'm sorry I ruined anything you would say.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about. I've just been on a huge Batman kick the last 2 weeks. Cause I fucking got gifted by a friend the Telltale Batman game, because they actually had a physical copy of it. So I played the entire first season. And that was pretty good. Pretty good retelling, very Earth 1-esque. Neat take on the character, but it kind of made me thirsty for more Batman media. So I've been rereading the Tom King run, because I didn't quite finish it, and I read it very sporadically originally. So I'm trying to get it all in one go this time, and so far I've kept to that pretty well. I read like 2 to 3 issues every lunch.
Is that the one that started with Gotham Guy and Gotham Girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Rebirth run. And that opening trilogy of arcs was so good that I went and put it on the list. Like, I remember those arcs being really good, but they just hit me super hard again this time of like, this is a fantastic dissertation on Batman as a singular character. And then fucking, what was the other thing I did? There was something else. Oh yeah, the Pattinson trailer had come out, and that kind of sparked this, even though it was a few weeks beforehand. And that movie looks really good. Fucking awesome how he got COVID and then beat it like a week later. And
well, I mean, if you see how violently he beats a guy in that trailer, you could understand.
See how violent he beats the nostalgia critic.
Yeah, he fucking beat up Doug Walker, and I cheered so hard. But also, it's a fucking gritty, realistic take on Riddler, which has me kind of hyped.
I mean, out of all the Batman villains, it makes a lot of sense because he that's what serial killers do.
Mm-hmm. And also, I rewatched a couple of the animated movies. I watched Gotham Knights, which I hadn't seen in forever, but I personally think is highly underrated.
Is that the adaptation of Gotham by Gaslight?
No, that is the movie that's in the Nolan verse and is a bunch of anime vignettes.
Oh no, that's really good. It is really good.
The Animatrix, but Batman.
Mm-hmm. I watched fucking Under the Red Hood because I hadn't seen that in a while. And then I watched the Batman and Harley Quinn, which I had been meaning to get to for a while, and that made me want to kill myself. But then I watched Assault on Arkham, and that was much better.
Yeah, I was about to say, of all the ones, that one is just bad. At the beginning, it's good, and then like the whole fucking jive of it, just like
oh no, dude, it systematically pisses on the Tim versus Grave, and it was made by fucking Bruce Timm and Paul Dini too. Like those guys are starting to go the way of Frank Miller, and I don't think anyone wants to admit it.
Bruce Timm has always been low key horny.
Mm-hmm. But you could say the same thing about Frank Miller. He's always been low key a MGTOW.
Yeah.
But thank God we praise and worship Grant Morrison.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I did start to read a bit of Morrison's Batman, and I was like, oh, this is a lot. I need to save this for when I have more time to process this.
I mean, that's true of anything Grant Morrison.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying not to drop a bunch of money on toys right now because A, putting money back for the summit, and B, I have massive fucking credit card debt that I've been ignoring for far too long. But I have been eyeballing both the Mafex Batman and the Mezco Sovereign Knight Batman.
I'll just say right now, as someone who has very little control sometimes, if you get one, you'll get more.
Yeah.
And I look at those Mafex ones, and I look at the Mezco shit, and I'm like, hey, I know they're good. I know I'll like it. Go ahead, buy one. It's not that expensive.
It's a slippery slope.
And then you buy one. Yeah.
Here's the thing. If I get... Because I'm reading Tom King's Batman, which is very heavily about Batman and Catwoman's relationship, if I get either of those Batmans, I'm gonna want to get the Catwoman to go with them.
And then you might as well just get any other fucking villain or anything else.
Yeah, I might as well get like a Joker, and there's a there's a Mezco Harley that just came out and looks pretty good.
If you're talking about Mezco, I mean, you could always get the crossover characters like Judge Dredd.
Yeah, and fucking that Popeye looks pretty good too, bro.
And honestly, their Marvel line is very good. And if you like any kind of Marvel anything, just go for it. Have you ever played?
Hey, they're also on scale with your DC things, and you can do cool crossover stuff.
Yeah. That's the pain of being a toy collector.
Don't do it.
Yes, sir.
Be financially smart.
I mean, I'll put it this way. The pre-orders for Ultimate The Fiend went up on Ringside Collectibles yesterday, and I decided that was going to be my big expenditure for the month. That was like $45.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's my vibe for this week, and I think that's Analytical Fanboys. So, Cody, go ahead and plug all your shit. Tell people who you are and where they can find you on the internet if you want them to.
As always, I am
a hodgepodge of branding.
I forgot the actual thing. Oh, hang on.
You just need to make a fucking document that you can read every week.
Oh, it's gone. Something about country bears. Anyways,
God damn it.
My Instagram is never_robot. I just posted a picture of Jar Car Binks, which is a Star Wars character car.
The best.
My gaming platforms are usually some variation of Snowcone 83. If you click on it and see some bullshit about some robots or like an icon about some robots, or it's probably me. On Steam, I think I'm Snow Burke. My Twitch is Snowcone83 again. Got it. I remember that. Other than that, if you see me in real life, don't talk to me.
Yes, sir.
That was actually just for Chris.
Wow. Well, what we're discussing him. Hey, Chris, tell everybody who you are and where they can find you on the internet if you want them to.
Hey, howdy. My name is Chris Boingo Writer Gaston. You can find me on the YouTube. I do video editorial essay things under Boingo Writer. That's the channel name. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Boingo_Writer. And I guess you can find me on Twitch at Boingo Writer.
Oh boy. Go right.
Oh, talking about slippery slopes, bro. Hey, guess what? I am your modular king of the content ring, the Vacuuminator. I do content of all sorts across the various platforms of the internet, but currently, right now, on YouTube, I'm focused as a toy reviewer. You can find me talking about all kinds of cool stuff over at youtube.com/thevacuuminator. That's spelled TheVacuuminator. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter under that handle at The Vacuuminator. Might be with an underscore, might be not. And yeah, that's pretty much everywhere you can find me. But this show, hey, we are the Analytical Fanboys podcast, and once again, I want to remind you, if you enjoyed this, if you listened all the way through the end, go ahead and give us a like to help us out in the YouTube algorithm. Maybe leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of this week's episode. Subscribe so you get every one of them as they come out, and don't forget to ring that bell in order to enable notifications. If you want to listen to it on the go down to the description. We've got a Google Drive folder with every episode we've ever done as an MP3. You can follow us on Twitter at The Modular Media for updates on the podcast and all the other stuff we're doing. And you can subscribe to our subreddit, r/modular media, where we do pretty much the same thing. It's a cool place, a lot of cool stuff going on. We've got the summit coming up. It's a great time to get involved with modular media, so definitely go ahead and do that. But while you're doing that, we're going to take off, and we'll see you next week when we'll be discussing Bleach by Nirvana.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would start reciting the lyrics to the Bleach anime theme song, but I don't actually remember them, and I'd probably mangle them because they're in another language.